Welcome everybody to the X Factor Podcast, episode 11 today, and we're going to be getting right into it here, talking about a little bit of free agency news, a little bit of some NFL news, and then we're going to get right into it with the NXT roster overview. Oh, and Monday Night Raw review. So, not really much free agency talk today, so I'm going to get right into it with the Would You Rather question. Yesterday was, would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? I would rather see 10 minutes into the future. Or, no, I actually would go 150 years in the future, because if there's anything wrong, you can always have that ability to change it. So, today is, would you rather have the ability to move things in your mind or the ability to read minds? Probably the read minds part would probably be mine, but let's get right into NFL news. So as we get right into it here, this happened yesterday. The Cardinals signed a 2-year deal with Zach Pascal from the from the Seattle Eagles to the Cardinals. I think it's a good signing for them. Obviously, Rich Gannon has had history with Zach Pascal, with them two both being on the Eagles last year. So great signing for them. Chemistry will go great for them. So, all right, let's get right back into this here. OJ Howard signs a 1-year deal with the Raiders. I reviewed this yesterday. I said with OJ Howard having a rough patch with the Bucks and Bruce Arians' offense the last couple of years. I do think it's a good signing from that for the Raiders, but whether or not they're going to do anything next year with it, I don't know. So, all right. What else? Dalton Schultz signs a 1-year contract with the Texans. Kind of expected this to happen. Closer to Dallas and everything. It sucks seeing a guy that's been there for 4 years be gone, but he was only really good when Dak was on the field. To be honest with you, he didn't really do much when there was a backup. So, looks like Ferguson and I can't remember the other guy's name, but them two are gonna have to hold the helm now at tight end. Unless we draft somebody, of course. Texans also signed Devin Singletary, which is interesting news, at least, because Texans are bringing in people. They're bringing in, quite a few people now, so. Devin Singletary will be with Dameon Pierce, so. Brown signed Joshua Dobbs, backup, I'm assuming. And the Bills signed Demon Harris. Bringing another running back that's not going to do much for them, in my opinion. So, nothing else really much NFL news today. We're going to get right into Monday Night Raw stuff, because we got quite a few things to talk about here. So let's get right into it. All right, the first segment that happened here on Monday Night Raw was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They both come out to everyone chanting their name and everything. So, and Kevin Owens pretty much, he goes on saying that he couldn't handle Sami Zayn being in the Bloodline because, with Bloodline using Sami and everything, and which we could really, we all knew the Bloodline was using Sami. So, Usos come out. Jimmy denied the title match at WrestleMania versus them, but then Jay said, well, let's get right into it. So, and then that's when Roman comes to the stadium. So, so it's official: Usos versus Kevin and Sami for the undisputed tag titles at WrestleMania. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be. I'm hoping this is where the Bloodline goes down. I'm hoping this is where it all ends here. I think this is where it should end. So, that's pretty much where I got my mind on that. Theory versus Montez Ford, good matchup. Theory comes up with the win. it's weird because I'm seeing more of the Street Profits lose, and usually last year we've seen them win. So I'm wondering if something's going on with that. Maybe they're gonna see more of a change up in tag division. Maybe so. After that, Theory talks about being like the next best or whatever. So, and there's a Roman. Roman had a backstage segment right after that. He made everyone. He was hoping that everyone could take out the problems that they're dealing with, and then Roman makes everyone leave except for Jay, and asked Jay if he was bloodline or whatever and all that, and Jay said he was all in. And then Roman goes, "Well, I love you," and Jay did not say anything back, which makes you think a little bit. And then Paul asked Roman if he found out everything he needed to know, and Roman said yes. So whether that's going to be something that is going to be a change or whatever, I don't know, but not going to lie, I would like to see Jey Uso turn on Roman at WrestleMania. That would be pretty good to see. And going into WrestleMania, though, with Roman, it's getting more dramatic by the week, so... And we have 2 weeks left, so... Adam Pearce had a backstage segment talking about the showcase matches, which I did not know what the hell a showcase match was. For the men's tag matches, it's going to be Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus Alpha Academy versus Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders. And I'm honestly thinking, the more I keep thinking about the men's one, I think that's going to be like who's going to win the SmackDown tag titles. And then I think with the women, it's going to be who's going to be the next challengers to Lita and Becky. So, but he tried talking about those, and then Chelsea Green came over, and Carmella wasn't here, so she picked a new tag partner, and it was Piper Niven. And I was sitting there, I'm like, what? And then to sit there, I keep thinking, I'm like, this could actually work. Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, that could actually work. So, Piper Niven is her new tag partner for the moment. Omos versus Mustafa Ali. Quick match. Omos is like 7'3", so they posted the whole match on Twitter. That's how you know it was just that quick of a match. Logan Paul had a segment. Not gonna lie, I didn't really pay attention to this segment because I'm not a Logan Paul person. But he did mention a couple things about not the fans not loving him or whatever, and he can knock out most of your favorite wrestlers and all of that. And Seth comes out after he was making fun of knocking Seth out so many times, and Seth comes out, and then they're fighting, and then boom, Logan Paul punches him again and knocked out. I think it's gonna be a good match. I think Logan did a good promo, as of what I heard. But I don't think that fucking asshole needs to go down at WrestleMania. So, Dominic Mysterio versus Gargano, and it was a good matchup. And Dominic comes clean with the win, something you don't really see much since he became with Judgment Day. He does end up with the win. I thought we were gonna see Waller, but we did not see Waller on Raw. So like I said, I don't really see what the point of the match was. So, Usos had a segment. Paul pretty much telling them that they need to go to catering or go to the bus where they got all the food, and Roman needed to talk to Solo, and I wonder what that was about. So, and then they went to a commercial break. Edge had a segment. It was around a bunch of like candles and everything, and Edge pretty much goes, Finn told me to bring. He told Finn to bring his demon versus his devil. So I think we're gonna get a demon versus brood edge at WrestleMania. So hoping we see that. Rhea comes out with a segment. And they're saying the same thing every week. It's just the match they had 3 years ago at WrestleMania, which I get why they keep saying it, but that's not the only match they've had. They had the Money in the Bank match a couple years ago. They had the SummerSlam Triple Threat match a couple years ago, and then Bayley comes out and Rhea ends up facing Bayley because Bayley, beat Charlotte at her first WrestleMania, so trying to give her tips, but they had a good match. Becky and Trish and Lita came out. They cost Bayley the win, and Rhea ends up with the win there. So before this or after that, Otis was again a manicure. Love to see it. But Chad Gable told him that they're getting a match at WrestleMania, and Otis is like, "Let's go." Maxine Dupree comes in and tries to take Otis, and Otis chose Chad Gable surprisingly. Chad Gable had a match versus Ricochet, and one thing I like about these two is like when you need a good match out of nowhere, boom, Ricochet and Chad Gable are one of those two you can really go after. I thought it was a good match, really good match, which I think should have been main event. But then in the middle of the match, Maxine Dupree got Otis, and that's what cost Chad Gable the win. So Ricochet ends up winning. Bianca and Asuka versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. I thought it was an alright matchup. Asuka and Bianca, of course, getting into some little fighting in there a little bit, and pretty much, getting some arguments, and then after the match, Asuka goes full heel on her and kicks her right in the face. So, going right into that, it's going to get a little good at WrestleMania. And people are saying that they haven't been building it much. That's a pretty good place to start right there. But, and we're going to get right into it with the Cody Rhodes Roman segment, the last thing that happened on Raw last night. Give me a second here. Brisk iced tea, man. Great. So Cody Rhodes Roman comes out with Solo and Paul, and Roman was gonna say something. He says acknowledge me, and then Cody Rhodes' team comes out, and then Cody Rhodes comes out and pretty much trying to address the Cody Rhodes problem, or Cody Rhodes coming in through the bloodline stuff, and Roman's pretty much telling him you're a part of the problem. You're not the Cody Rhodes problem or whatever. And pretty much goes on telling him he's not going to win because, look at his track record. He ran away from, didn't want to be Stardust anymore. He ran away. He didn't want to run away. And I'm going to stop right there because this kind of reminded me of something that I watched the other day. Brodus Clay was at an interview. And, when they told him that he had wanted to do the Funkadactyls, or when they told him he had to do the Funkadactyls gimmick, he got so mad. So he went to Dusty Rhodes' office in FCW and pretty much bitching about it. And Dusty goes, when they put him in the polka dots, he had to do it. He had a mortgage to pay. He had kids he had to take care of. And then told Brodus Clay, do you think you're better than me? And that pretty much ended right there. Brodus Clay ended up doing that, and, a couple years later, he ends up getting released. So, and I think if Dusty was still around, Stardust would have been there for a couple more years. Sadly to say that, but I think that would have happened. But like I said, he didn't want to be Stardust anymore, so he left. Started his own company, AEW, right now. Him, Young Bucks, Kenny, all them. But one thing I kind of like about that though is Kevin Owens introduced Cody to them. So if you think about it, Kevin is part of starting AEW. If you think about it, Just saying. And so, but like I said, he started a company he couldn't get over in, and he left. And then he came to WWE, he was getting over, and then, his pec injury. And then Roman pretty much tells him he's not, he's not, he's not it. He's not ready for this. And Roman pretty much goes, when you lose at April 3rd, the morning of April 3rd, you have to look in the mirror, do something your dad's actually going to be proud of you of, and then go run like a little bitch. And Roman cooked him. Roman cooked him. I thought Cody was out. I thought Cody was done for. I'm like, well, this is going to be the deciding factor in who's going to win at WrestleMania. Right there. Because if you want to be the number one guy, you got to talk with the number one guy. Like Ric Flair would say, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Always a Ric Flair saying right there. And then Cody Rhodes comes back right at him. And pretty much saying if he uses any more of his dad's, anyone trying to insult his dad, he's going to throw up because, his dad's not coming in the ring to do the bionic elbow. His brother's in a different company. And he said if his freaking Cuban mother would be standing here today, she would have told him to knock him out and punch him, and while he's on the floor, punch him again for good measure. And once he mentioned his Cuban mother, boom, it was done for. And then after that, Cody Rhodes goes on saying, after WrestleMania, what's going to be for you, Roman? You're going to have to learn what it's like to lose. Learn what it's like to not be around those titles that he has been around for a year, and for the Universal title, he's been around for 3 years. And then he's got to learn when Jay leaves him, Jimmy leaves him, and then he tells Solo that he's not ready yet. Something that he learned hard way when he came to WWE. And that one shook a nerve. And then when he got to Paul, he goes, well, Paul's just going to be another advocate again. And that one struck another nerve. And then Roman, it's going to be a Roman with no reigns. Roman without a family, Roman with no reigns, and a chief without a tribe. And Cody fucking killed him right then and there. And then Roman, he walked out of the ring. And then we got a face-to-face with Solo and Cody. And Solo tried doing or before Solo tried to spike him, Cody Rhodes goes, well, we all know you weren't ready. And boom, tried to do a Samoan spike. Cody kicks him right in the forehead. And, he tries to go after him again, and then Roman stops him and says he got him next week. So I'm guessing we're getting Solo and Cody next week on Raw. It was a really good Raw. I thought Raw was alright. A lot of segments because we're trying to build up a lot of the WrestleMania stuff. So, I thought it was amazing. But we're going to get right into it here, going over NXT roster here. We're going to do them in those categories like we did yesterday, so give me a minute here. Alright, we're going to get right into this here. I need to look up the NXT rosters. There we go. Alright, let's get right into it. Some of these people I have not seen because a lot of these people are on Level Up and everything. So if I don't really know them, I'm just going to put them at where I think they should be. So Alba Fire. Her and Isla Dawn are a tag team. But Alba Fire is a main event. I just think she's good all around. I think I didn't think she should have beaten Mandy Rose because Mandy Rose was best around. So Alicia Terra, I've seen a little bit of her, but I do think she needs a little more level up stuff. Amari Miller, same thing with her. Andre Chase, if it wasn't for the tag division, he'd be on the lower card, to be honest with you. He's not the best in the ring. But he gets over though. But if it was just him by himself without Chase U, I think he'd be in the low release category. But he's in a tag team, so Chase U in the Chase U tag team category. Apollo Crews, North American title picture. Ariana Grace, lower card or lower level up stuff. Ava Raine. Thing is, we haven't really seen much of Ava Raine, and if many people don't know, Ava Raine is The Rock's daughter. We haven't really seen much of her, so there's kind of hard to pick where she should be at. So if there's some I don't know, because she talks, I think she's a good promo, all right worker promo wise, but we haven't really seen her in the ring. So her is a don't know kind of category. Axiom, North American title picture. Blair Davenport, main women's card here. Boa, have not seen him once, so I think Booker T, he's commentary. Braun Breaker, man, he is the current NXT champion, but I think he needs to be in the main roster. But if he doesn't, I think main event will stay the same. Bronco Nima, have not seen one thing of her. Brooke Barlow, have not seen anything from her. Brooks Jensen. Brooks and Jensen are a tag team. I don't think they'll ever leave each other. Brutus Creed, same thing with the Creeds. I think they stay as a tag team for a while. For like a while. Bronson Montana, have not seen anything of him. Cameron Grimes, he is in that main event to main roster. Carmel Hayes, same thing with Braun and Cam. Channing Lorenzo, if it's just him by himself, I think he goes down to the lower seed here. But only reason I think that is because we've seen just a little bit by himself, but I think without Tony D'Angelo, I don't think he does much. Charlie Dempsey, I could be very biased on this one, or I could be realistic. Because if I'm being biased, I think he should be NXT title worthy. I fucking love Charlie Dempsey. And that's the thing with WWE nowadays, you don't get to see many hardcore technical guys. Like how many people in AEW have. But in NXT, Charlie Dempsey, boom. You don't need to be all nice and fancy. Charlie Dempsey goes in there, kicks ass, and leaves. And many people who don't know, Charlie Dempsey is William Regal's son. So he gets a lot of it from his father. So, but I'm gonna be biased here. I'm gonna put him in the NXT title picture. Sorry. Cora Jade, of course, one of the main women in the NXT right now. I just want to know where she's at. We haven't seen her in months, so I don't know where the hell she's at. Daba Kato. And one thing with taller guys, they don't sell well. They are not athletic as much. But Daba Kato, damn, he's something. But I think he should be in the NXT North American title picture. Damien Kemp, I think he needs more work. Donnie Palmer, have not seen much of her. Dante Chen. Dijak, NXT title picture. I don't think he's main event or main roster worthy yet because he just came back to NXT. Dragon Lee, same thing. I think he needs to be in the NXT title picture. But like I said, since he just came, he ain't coming to the main event, main roster. Drew Gulak. I'm going to go North American title. Duke Hudson. Um, lower. If it's just him by himself, it's a lower card, to be honest with you. So, Eddie Thorpe, low. Edordis and Phones, or Electrical Lopez, like I said, low. Elton Prince and his tag partner, tag division, pretty deadly. Fallon Henley, by herself, needs more work. Gigi Dolan, main event picture. Grayson Waller, I think he needs to be in the main roster to NXT title picture. Hank Walker, I still think Hank Walker needs some work. Ilya Dragunov, main roster. I'm not main roster. That's all I gotta say. Indy Hartwell, main roster. Isla Dawn, tag division, but otherwise she needs to be in the main women's division. Ivy Nile, don't really know much now because Paxley turned on her last week, so women's division. JD McDonough, main roster to NXT title picture. JC Jane, women's division or NXT title women's title picture. Let's see who we got. Jinder Mahal, NXT title picture. Being biased with that one, so Joe Coffey. Oh, we haven't seen him in forever. Joe Gacy, NXT title picture. Gargano, he isn't running at Raw, so I'm not doing really much for him. Josh Briggs and Creed and Katana Chance and Kaylee Carter by themselves. I think Katana Chance is in the main women's roster picture. Kaylee Carter, I think she needs some little bit more stuff to go, but I think both of them as a tag team, one of the best tag teams in the women's division. Kiana James, little bit more work in my opinion. Lash Legend, more work. Like I said, a lot of these people I haven't really seen because they're not really showing much. So, Lila Valkyrie, I think Lila Valkyrie, in the little time that she's been on the main roster or on NXT, she already looks like she's gonna be with an NXT Women's Champion. So, Mark Coffey and just say Gallus in general, great tag team by themselves. I don't know. Miko Satomura, main roster. Put her on the main roster already. She has been wrestling for over 30 years, and yet she's in NXT. Give me a goddamn break. Nathan Frazier, NXT North American title picture. Nikita Lyons, she is right now hurt, but I think she does need more work because pretty much everyone just really looks at her just for her ass. So, and looks. And we're not in that era anymore, so. Odyssey Jones, more work. Quincy Elliott, release him. Release that motherfucker. Roderick Strong, we haven't seen him in months, so I do think they're going to be releasing him. Roxanne Perez, women's title picture. Scripps needs more work. Sol Ruka, she is on the urge of women's title picture to main roster. And she's only been on the NXT for a couple months now, so. Tiffany Stratton, women's title picture. Tony D'Angelo, NXT title picture. Tyler Bate, main roster. Veer, tag division with Saga. And Von Wagner, North American title picture. Wesley, North American title picture. And Zoe Stark, main roster, so. A lot of these people I didn't mention because a lot of these people I don't really see much on NXT, so. But sorry to rush everything here. I was kind of late on today's episode. Tomorrow I'll get more prepared. I'll be more prepared for the episode. So, tell me what I should do better at. Tell me what I need to improve. Tell me what I can do to make this more fun of a podcast. So, enjoy your day. Don't let people tell you how to live your life, and have a great day. Bye.